All right, guys, so I've just come back from going to Norway via MSC Cruise Line, and in this video I'm going to show you around the ship and where I got to stop off in Norway, and then at the end of the video I'm going to do a little review on whether I thought it was worth it or not. So yeah, stick around for that and I hope you enjoy. So I thought at the end of this video I would just do a little, like, you know, kind of review, things that I liked, things that I didn't really like. And yeah, I'll just start off with the fact that there will be quite a bit of queuing. Now this is a lot bigger boat than the one I went on last year with P&O. And yeah, when you're queuing to get into the restaurants and stuff, that can get a bit tedious. Queuing to get a drink as well, you know, like especially the bar at the casino, that is a nightmare trying to get a drink there. You know, everyone's in the casino, everyone's trying to get a drink, and they're like quite understaffed, I found, in that particular section. Another thing I really didn't like was in Flam, where you can do the excursions. There's a lot to do there. MSC actually like pre-book all of that, and then they charge you a lot more on the price. For example, the train that goes around the mountains in Flam, which is something my sister really wanted to do, that if you actually just got it at the ticket stop, it was only like, I think about £50, but MSC was selling it for upwards of like £200. And obviously it had all been booked out. So the scalping thing I really didn't like. I thought that was really bad taste. Also, we found it quite difficult to find out information about like the food times. Like 1 minute it would be breakfast till like 10:30 or 11:30. And it was just a little bit vague on knowing that, whereas P&O had like a list of everything that was going on that day. Don't get me wrong, there was a TV that kind of shown you like what was on, but there was, you know, when it comes to the food and dining, it was a little bit vague in that. And lastly, the thing I didn't like was the fact that, you know, if you bought anything on that ship, then you're paying a lot more money. So we obviously got photos done, and to buy the photos on the ship, it was like £170. And we spoke to a woman, and she said that she'd already ordered like 100 or something like that, and it worked out for like half the price before she even got on the boat. So yeah, anything that you buy on the boat instead of pre-booking is going to be more expensive, you know. And we didn't even get an upgrade. As soon as we got there, because they were trying to charge us like £600-700 extra just to have a balcony before we got there, and then when we got on the boat we asked for an upgrade and they said they couldn't do it. So yeah, that's something to be aware of. Yeah, so from what we found, it was actually better to just like pre-book most things before you actually got on the boat instead of doing it on the boat, because it was a lot more expensive. And lastly, if you like a good nightclub, then don't really expect to have that on MSC. They kind of put it in as like an afterthought, whereas P&O had like a whole designated section, and it was really good. But MSC, they put it right next to where like the sports and kids centre bit is, so you got kids running around when you're trying to like party. And yeah, I just didn't like the nightclub at all, and we didn't particularly go there much the whole time we was on the ship. Overall, you know, there wasn't anything terribly bad that I can think of. I'm going to talk about the things that I did like. I like the fact that the staff were all super friendly. The swimming pools were really good. The swimming pools actually had salt water in them, which was a bit of a shock at first, because obviously swallowing a little bit of water when you jump in, and you're like, oh, what's that taste? And it's obviously salt water. So that was something to bear in mind when you first get in. But when you're hungover, the salt water, I don't know, it feels different. It makes you feel a lot better. Another thing I really liked, I thought the drinks were like, we had the drinks package, and I think it was like really worth it, because we pre-booked that and it worked out like 30-40 quid a day each for the drinks package, and I drunk, you know, 30-40 quid's worth of drink within about 3 hours or so. So definitely got my money back. And all the variety of drinks I thought was really good, and you can pretty much go into any of the bars, and you can get a drink from a bar in like deck 7, and then you can go to deck 6 and take it there. You know, they're not like you've got to stay in this bar. You can take it wherever you want. You can get a drink from a bar down nowhere near the casino and then take it to the casino. I thought things like that were really cool. One thing I will say as well is, if you're doing a cruise ship, you have to get a balcony. You're just missing out on so much. On P&O last year we got a balcony, and this one we didn't, and I would never do a cruise ship without a balcony, because you're missing out on the views. And also, if you've got an indoor cabin without a window or a balcony, you are going to have the aircon on, because it gets so hot in there, and when you wake up in the morning your throat's all dried out, and it's not enjoyable. Unfortunately, it will cost more to have a balcony, but yeah, I just generally would never go inside cabin ever again. But yeah, there was a lot I really liked about it. You know, a couple of things like the robot on there, you know, it was like 14 quid for cocktails. So that robot is making a lot of money, and that's not in the drinks package. So I didn't get that, and it was in like a little cup as well. It wasn't in like a nice glass. But he's a robot, so you know I can't judge him too much because I can't even make a cocktail myself. I will say where like the heart of the ship is basically where there's like this massive long digital platform above your head, and they do like a drone show every single night there. It's only for like 5 minutes, but it was arguably one of the most coolest things I've ever seen. You know, if you're into your technology and stuff like that and your visuals, you're going to absolutely love it. The themes are always different every single night. Like one night they'd have all the most famous paintings ever made, and then another night they'd have like the cosmos, space, and all of that. It was just incredible. You can't beat that. That was really something special. And yeah, they've got something going on more or less every single night. They've got like they've got white parties, and they're always throwing some sort of theme. But there's no like pressure to feel like you have to get involved. It's just there if you want to. And overall just had a really good time. So do I think it's worth it? I do think that this specific trip is worth it. I think all in all we paid around like $850 to $950 for it, and that's like I said with the drinks package. I've got to say that Flam is the most beautiful place I've ever been to in my life, and I've travelled quite a bit, but you know, when you're coming out of Flam and you're looking around and you can see all the mountains and stuff, like that was just amazing. And obviously, you know, if you flew to Norway and you was travelling to Flam, you wouldn't get that experience unless you had that by boat. So for Flam itself, it was worth it. I'm not gonna lie, it was just beautiful. I'm not sure what other places they go to, MSC. I know they go all around the world, but there'd probably be some places where you feel like it would actually just be better for you to just fly to that country and just get a better deal in a hotel. But when it comes to Norway, I feel like the cruise is the way to go. So yeah, I think we use like Secret Escapes or something like that to get a better deal. I'm not sure what platform it was, but it was something like that. But yeah, otherwise it would have cost a lot more than what we paid, and I don't feel like it was worth more than, you know, £800, £900 to do what we just went on. So yeah, that's kind of like my review. I do think it's worth it. Norway is absolutely stunning. You're not going to have a bad time. But yeah, just take into consideration some of the things I mentioned. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one.